Well, hi, this is Gretchen Sable. This is about the fifth time I've done this now, but I should be getting better at doing Google Hangouts at some point. So anyhow, those of you that tried to tap into the conference earlier today know that I wasn't very successful with that. So I am now doing a tape and I'm going to start a video and I'll send this to everybody, a link there so that people can see it. Um, so if you did try to tap in earlier, thank you for your patience. And if you didn't, here's the information. I'm going to start sharing my screen now so that everybody can see my PowerPoint, which I don't have open, so I'll have to hang on a second here. So like I said, I've been sending information to people by email. And some of the people that I sent the information to are the contact people who had been designated by their local leagues to be contacts to the ILO. So I send information to them. I had a list of league presidents that I got from the state office, and I sent to them. That was a couple years old, so there's been some changes there I recognize. And if people tell me they want their name off or on, add somebody else, I've been doing that. And yeah, so, and then we have other interested parties that have raised their hands. So I've been sending out information to those people. It's been kind of hard for me because people don't respond. I say, please respond to this so I know that I'm reaching you, and they don't respond. So I don't really know who all knows anything. And hopefully we'll be successful in all this. Okay, so you should be seeing my PowerPoint now, I hope. Let me see if you are. Yes, okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be giving a PowerPoint talk here. And I just want to, I don't know why it's blinking. Hopefully that's not too disturbing. We're going to be talking about the ILO, how it was formed, the area that it serves. You can see right there in the picture that the ILO starts up at the beginning of the Mississippi watershed in Bemidji, Lake Itasca actually, Park Rapids area, and it flows all the way down to Cape Girardeau, which is south of St. Louis. Very large watershed, lots of land and lots of things going on there. I got some facts about the Upper Mississippi. The Upper Mississippi River flows 1,300 miles from its start to the end of this watershed. There's more than 425,000 acres of federal and state wildlife refuges along the river. It's a very important river in terms of ecology to our country, our continent. It supports more than 127 species of fish and 30 species of mussels, and 300 species of birds migrate through the river valley in the spring and fall. About 40% of the migratory waterfowl use the Mississippi flyway. The health of the Mississippi is critical to the health of all these creatures, including people. Between St. Cloud, which is the first water intake on the river, to Cape Girardeau, Missouri, there's 23 public water suppliers that use river water, and they serve a combined population of about 2.8 million people. And then kind of the back end of that, there's about 280 facilities that discharge wastewater to the Upper Mississippi, including industrial facilities, municipal sewage treatment plants. And so what happens is we take the water out, we drink it, and then we put it back there for the next people. And there's more than 30 million people living in the basin. We have many large urban areas in this basin, including Minneapolis, St. Louis, Chicago, the Quad Cities, Des Moines, La Crosse, Peoria. So it's a very populated area, and most of what's not populated is farmlands. There's much land use issues that result in pollution. Throughout the watershed, between Cape Girardeau and Lake Itasca, there's many issues that unite all the different leagues in all our different areas. One of these issues is nutrients. Nutrients wash off of our lawns, wash off of farm fields. And these nutrients that flow into the Gulf, we're talking nitrogen and phosphorus here, have actually created a dead zone in the Gulf of Mexico. I'll talk more about that. And then this poor water quality also affects wildlife along the river's route. There's transport of hazardous materials on roadway, by rail, or on water that can threaten water supplies. That's an issue that's of a lot of concern to many. Aquatic invasive species is an issue all up and down the river, including such creatures as the silver and big-headed carp that are found, the flying carp. And also a lot of things that unite us are commercial navigation, ecosystem restoration, water quality, flood risk, water supply. So there's a lot that we have in common. The purpose of the ILO is to promote education, public understanding, and active, informed citizen participation so that evidence-based decision-making about the river and its management can happen. We want to promote resource conservation, science-based stewardship, and long-range planning with responsibility for managing natural resources shared and coordinated among levels of government. And we want to promote efficient and economical government requiring competent personnel, a clear assignment of responsibilities, adequate financing, effective enforcement, and well-defined channels for citizen input and review. These are all goals that are clearly aligned with League of Women Voters goals nationally, and I think that these would be great guiding lights for us as we begin our work with the ILO. Looking at nutrients, this is an issue that I said that the ILO steering team is going to recommend to the delegate body that we adopt as our first 2 years action. You can see this is some Minnesota data here on the left. The orange and the red, each of those blobs, those colored blobs, is a watershed that contributes to the Mississippi. The green ones are very low dischargers of nitrogen, and it increases up to red being the highest. You can see that our red, orange, and yellow is in the farming regions of our state. And so, not to pick on agriculture, but there are issues with nutrient pollution that do need to be addressed, and we can see from these graphics where they're coming from. Looking at the picture then to the upper right, you can see that that represents all the parts of the United States where the Mississippi River flows. You can see that the Mississippi entire basin stretches from Montana, which is the Missouri River, all the way up to New York, which would be the Ohio River. The upper Mississippi is outlined in black there. You can see the red areas in there are mostly in Iowa and Illinois, but there are still some in Wisconsin and Minnesota. So it's important for the health of the watershed that we band together to work on issues together. And it's also important for Minnesota that we help to clean up our own streams for the sake of our own ecosystems and water supplies. The last graphic there down there in the lower part, you can recognize where Louisiana is there in the Gulf of Mexico. You can see where the river comes down, the delta has formed, and at the mouth of the delta, the red, orange, and yellow colors show the anoxic zone that stretch all the way out to Texas. In this area, there's not enough oxygen for fish. Fisheries have been ruined. Aquatic life is driven out or killed. And this happens every year as the flush of nutrients come down the river. And so that's something that we really need to address. Minnesota is the headwaters for 3 major watersheds. Like I said, Minnesota is the headwater for the Gulf of Mexico via the Mississippi. That's the gray area. The blue in the northwest is where our water goes up to the Red River of the north, both through the Red River and the Rainy River, ends up in Hudson Bay. And then the peach kind of color area there, that goes through the St. Lawrence Seaway to the Atlantic, through the St. Lawrence Seaway and the Great Lakes. That would be the North Shore, all the rivers on the North Shore and the St. Louis River. Minnesota, like the other states in the region, has developed a nutrient reduction strategy. This is because EPA required the development of this. And all these strategies have a lot in common and also some differences. But one thing I wanted to show you from Minnesota is that Minnesota has a desire to develop a statewide nutrient reduction strategy, education, and outreach campaign. And I think that as this develops, there will be opportunities for League to work with the state and others on this, and kind of be with a number of entities pushing in this direction. It gives us a chance to be part of kind of a broader effort and to bring our grassroots work in to work on this project. So I think it's a great opportunity for us to do that. A little bit about the ILO. The establishment of the ILO has been approved by League of Women Voters US, we had reached our required quota of leagues within the area and members within the area. Our first annual meeting is set for October 24th in Dubuque, where we will elect a slate of officers, establish a plan of action. Like I said, nutrient reduction is the likely topic for the first 2 years. We will meet, network, make friends, and develop working relationships with others from leagues throughout the watershed. We're looking for people on the board. We need another Minnesota rep to be appointed on the board. The board's going to meet 6 times a year with the location rotating around the region, and you can always participate by phone. And so getting there won't be a problem. We can work it out through technology. We can also work out carpools. If you would be interested in being the Minnesota rep, you can email the address that I'll share here in a little bit and let us know. And also, each league pays their annual dues at this time. They'll be due on October 24th. $25 a league. There's no per member fee. These are annual dues. There's just $25 a league. Like I said, no annual fee, no per member fees. So a little bit more about our first annual convention. It's going to run from 9 to 3 at the Grand River Center in Dubuque. Each league is requested to send 1 delegate, but non-delegates are also welcome. We need to have people registered by October 10th so that we can take care of all the necessary arrangements. And the Hampton Inn across the street is holding a block of rooms until September 30th for us. This is a beautiful time of year down there. The river valley will be lit up with fall colors, and there's lots of people traveling up and down the river. So rooms will fill fast, and I would urge you to make your reservations soon. The agenda for the meeting, we're going to do a business part of the meeting where we'll elect a slate of officers and approve our plan of action. There's going to be a keynote talk called Launching Our ILO, Protecting Our River, Bringing the Passion of Carrie Chapman Cat to the League's newest ILO. And then in the afternoon, we're going to play something called the Watershed Game, where facilitators are going to help us learn about watershed principles and examine what it takes to resolve conflicts. This is an example of a program that we would be able to then recreate at our local league level, where you could put it on for local elected officials. You could bring in high school students to kind of fire them up on water protections. It'll be a very interesting afternoon. And then Friday night, the night before, we're going to have a party in Galena thanks to the Joe Davies County League of Women Voters. Oh, sorry. This is the Grand River Center in Dubuque. It's a 4.5-hour drive from the league offices in St. Paul. So if anybody's interested in carpooling, you can send an email to lwvumrr@lwvmn.org. I have this up on another slide, so you don't have to worry about it now. Just get your pen and pencil ready. Like I said, it's a beautiful facility. You can see there, it's right on the river, so that should be very nice. We do provide lunch. Friday night, there'll be a launch party where the league members in Joe Davies County, which is the Illinois county across from Dubuque, are going to host the party. The home that you see there is the home of Elihu Washburn, who was a congressman at the time that General Grant was general and president. We're going to have a costume reenactor there to give us tours, and we'll have pizza and wine. It'll be a wonderful time, so that should be great. If you're interested in attending the Friday night pre-party, you can call Bonnie Cox at 815-777-9282 with your reservation, or else you can email the email address that I have here now. So this is the email address again for carpools, for more information. This is actually the email account for the ILO. So it's lwvumrr@lwvmn.org. When you look at that, it's League of Women Voters, Upper Mississippi River Region at leagueofwomenvotersminnesota.org. So you send an email, we'll reply to an answer, and hopefully we can all see you then. So I'm going to unshare my computer now, at least in theory. And we should be good. So, well, I hope everything worked, and thank you very much for participating. Look forward to hearing from you. I will be sending out another email to all those people I mentioned before, the league contacts, the presidents, other interested parties, and state leaders with information, including hopefully a PDF of the presentation I just gave, registration information, deadlines, all that kind of stuff. Feel free to send that on to people. I do have a newsletter article, so if you want an article for your local league newsletter, I can send that to you as well, so let us know about that. Thank you very much, and we hope to meet you soon. Bye-bye.